and gentlemen, hello. So my name's Craig Stockings. I'm the head of the School of Humanities and Sciences. It's my pleasure to speak to you this afternoon about the BA, the courses and the programs and opportunities the BA represents. I'm going to try to not be an academic. That means I'm not going to try and talk the whole time, right? Very rare what happens again if you see yourself here in future years. What I'm going to do is leave plenty of time for questions at the end. I've got three colleagues here who are currently BA undergraduate students. Can you not hear me up the back?
It's for the live stream.
I gotcha. I've got three colleagues here who are currently undergraduates who can certainly answer questions that I can't answer. Perhaps even give you a bit more insight if you're interested in what life as a BA student is. We're masters of technology. Yeah. There is some things I need to cover off on you that I'm required to tell you in a brief like this, but I'm not going to spend too much time, ladies and gentlemen, talking about degree structures and programs and unit of credit and all that stuff that doesn't really matter till you get here anyway, right? Happy to answer questions about that at the end, but I want to talk more about the program and the opportunities that are inherent in a BA. I love this question. Comes up all the time. Even get asked it by my own kids who should know better, right? The question isn't why you should do a BA, the question is why wouldn't you do a BA? And the reason for that, some of the reasons for that are on the screen in front of you there, but the real reason for that is this degree does not qualify you to do any single job. Rather, this degree qualifies you to do all jobs, and that's a fundamental difference. And it is what a BA is all about. Make you a better thinker. That is my learning outcome as a program authority for this degree. Make you a critical thinker. To sort the wheat from the chaff in a world filled so much today with TikTok knowledge and various accuracy of news sources. This is what we're here for. A better officer, I could have put up plenty of pictures of current serving general officers, air vice marshals and admirals with BA degrees as well. And there's a reason for that. Not one job, every job. And within the span of a military career, there are multitudes of different jobs. A better citizen, that's me, that's not the university speaking there. Perhaps I'm a little bit biased, though I do say I started my undergraduate career as a scientist, so perhaps I have some view of the other side as well. This is all about understanding the human world. We speak a lot and seem infatuated nowadays with technology, right? Perhaps that's always been the case. And there's a place for that even in military intellectualism, there's a place for technology. But so long as AI doesn't rule us, technology is a tool, and a tool wielded by human beings. Understanding human beings is what we're trying to do here. Some of those skills I've already passed over quite quickly, but you can see them there for yourself again. Clear and critical thinking skills. Ability to assess and find relevant information and build arguments and form your own informed conclusions. Informed by evidence and argument, not the latest thing that appeared on your screen. Well-honed communication skills. We make no apologies for that. As potential junior and hopefully senior officers one day, undergraduates here will need to communicate in a written and in a verbal form. That is another requirement of a BA. And the basis for intelligent leadership. The study of the humanities in a military and non-military context has always been the part of officer education. I think the first point's an important one and sometimes misunderstood by people considering what they want to do for a career or coming here or what they might want to study. Where there is a particular thing to know about how to do your job, Defence will teach you that, not the university. Understand the difference here between training to do a thing and education for your mind. As a junior and, as I said, hopefully senior officer, you are not employed. Defence does not put millions of dollars into this place to teach you how to carry a pack, how to run fast, or how to shoot straight, because it's a lot cheaper to get other people to do that. The single reason you are here as an undergraduate and why government money is poured into this place is for your head. Yes, you've got to do that other stuff too, but you are actually employed to think. And this is a degree about thinking, and even how to think in some cases. Thinking independently, yes, this is paid, this is why ADFA exists, as I've said, and also something that's pretty good about being an undergraduate here is you do get paid, right? Not too many part-time jobs. So you sort of do have a part-time job with the military things, it's just an unpaying one. Thank you. And again, I need to go through some structural issues now, ladies and gentlemen. You've had a good walk around today, and you've seen the campus or a large part of the campus. Just be clear that UNSW Canberra is one of the faculties of the University of New South Wales. It's not owned by Defence. I don't work by Defence. I simply, as part of what we do, we educate Defence undergraduates. About 900 undergraduate students here at any one time, almost 2,000 postgraduate students. So we do quite a few other things that aren't undergraduates and research students too. This is part of what we do, but it's a very important part of what we do. Yes, and there's some bragging rights for the university. That's not 55 now, it's below 50, so ANU is now the second ranked Australian university in Canberra. One point there that's important, I think, particularly for undergraduates, is staff to student ratio. I don't know how much you guys know about how arts degrees and other degrees are taught at other universities, but I cap our tutorials at 12, not 40. So the ratio between students and academics is a very narrow one, which of course is a benefit for learning. We have the luxury of doing that here where other universities don't. Again, covered some of this stuff there. Explore the human aspects of the world, from language to politics, history, business, etc. Why people do the things they do and what it all means. Past, present, possible futures. What do we do and how do we achieve that across our courses in a broad spread? And I have to say, of all the courses we put on, and choice is an inherent thing about a BA, right? So this is not a degree that has a mapped pathway for you that you need to follow. The only compulsory courses are the first year ones because you've got to start somewhere, right? And it's build your own degree from there. And that's true of all BAs in G8 universities, but it's true here as well, and I think that's an important aspect of what we do. And because we offer that choice, but we're teaching a uniformed undergraduate body, that tends to be about 50-50. About half of the courses we will put on in any discipline have a security or strategic or military theme, but the other half won't. And that's quite deliberate because as well as the subjects that lots of cadets are interested in, I have a responsibility to make sure that there's balanced and liberal education to even that out as well. To find and evaluate evidence, express yourself clearly. Yes, a question I was asked last time I gave this talk about an hour ago, AI matters and it's cheating. It's not across the university, there are other courses where it's appropriate, but so long as my learning outcomes in a BA is for undergraduates to gather information, process that information, mount their own arguments and communicate it back to my lecturers in an intelligible manner, that's AI is cheating. We have software tools to check that. It's always been ways to cheat. So our offerings, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. So we're in a bit of transition. We're moving into some new programs as well. But basically speaking, as the degree structure currently stands, students are required to choose 2 majors. In the next few years, that will go down into 1 major and a minor, but let's just say 2 majors at the moment. And those majors you can see are able to be chosen from there: English and Media Studies, History, Indonesian Studies, International and Political Studies, and a new program and major called Indo-Pacific Studies, which will be standing up in 2025. I'll talk more about those in a moment. It is possible at the moment, along with one of those home humanities majors, to choose a major in geography and business. It's actually possible to choose both at the moment. In the future, you'll be able to choose minors outside the school rather than majors. Just to run through these very quickly, English and Media Studies is exactly what it sounds like. There's a mix of traditional literature and English studies, as well as emergent fields like social media and media studies more generally. Those courses, you can see some names of some courses there. That's clearly not exhaustive, but that's split between those with a military spin or those not. Again, history, it's as you'd see. Despite what I've just said, we've managed to list 4 courses there that actually do have a military flavour. Please believe me, they don't all have a military flavour. It's about a 50-50. Indonesian Studies is a bit different as a major because it teaches language, so it is a more programmatic or defined program structure. Graduates from the Indonesian major have a level of language capacity in Bahasa that's accredited and accepted by the ADF School of Languages. There is the ability to do other languages than Bahasa, but they're done at ANU. So you just do a couple of classes at ANU if you're doing a different language. There is a study option which is always popular, an overseas study option which is always popular for Indonesian studies. They do field trips for a couple of weeks. Certainly that'll be a part of the Indo-Pacific program as well. I sort of gave that surprise away, right? This program, once it's up and running, will be multidisciplinary, so we have anthropologists, sociologists, historians, political scientists, just focused on the region rather than any specific discipline. Now that's of interest, I think, to Australians generally, given geography is one thing that tends not to change, but it's also of interest to Defence at the moment, as you would have picked up over the last year or so. And IPS, or International and Political Studies. So a mix there of political philosophy, key thinkers, security issues, countries-based issues, etc. As I mentioned, it is possible right now to do a major in business if you're doing a BA, and geography as well. Right, again, don't get too worried about these structures and compulsory things and whatnot, just an overview here. But one thing that is a bit different of UNSW Canberra as a faculty and the BA, all degrees here actually, there are some things that students have to do. Those things in the green are called prescribed electives. If that makes sense to you, please explain it to me. But you need to choose 1 or 2 of those. A couple down the bottom in yellow that you have to do. There's plenty of room within the BA to get those done and still do the subjects that you wanted to do. Go through this very quickly. This is a pretty standard course. My colleagues will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, but an average load is about 12 contact hours a week. Don't let that fool you. There's plenty of reading to be done outside of that, and I'm sure it's always done. But contact hours is about 12 a week. Those programs of study between level 2, which is second year, and third year, are pretty similar as well. The only thing you can really take away and notice from those slides, ladies and gentlemen, is choice is the key here. So if you're, for example, doing a history major in second year, every time you go to enrol, there'll be 3 or 4 separate options for you to choose from. So it's a build your own pathway according to what interests you. Yep. Very similar to second year. If you can remember that 15 seconds after you walk out of here, you're doing better than I. This is just more structural or programmatic information. I often get asked about entry requirements. There sort of are, but there sort of aren't. Remember, or you have to remember, for your information, the faculty does not recruit our undergraduates here, that they all go through Defence. We teach who Defence gives us in the undergraduate sphere. What are you required? Sometimes we say a BA matriculation score for UNSW is about 75. It's pretty meaningless. Matriculation and TR scores are based on popularity, right? If Defence wants you to be at ADFA, you'll be at ADFA. If you want to do a BA, you'll do a BA. I think one of the important notes, assume knowledge English, of course, that's what we teach and assess in. The question does come up, what should I be studying at high school if I want to study a BA here or any other degree? My answer to you is, it matters not. Study what you study in high school, what you enjoy, do well. That's what Defence will care about. I ended up with a BA with honours in history and I ended up doing this job. I never studied history at high school. That's not important. What's important is you're doing something that you enjoy. There is every support facility here available to students that is not available elsewhere. Staff waiting for your beck and call, learning and teaching groups. You really got to try hard not to succeed if you want to succeed in this sort of degree. So my advice to you, because it comes up, is don't do what you want to do. Unlike most universities where undergraduates are under quite a bit of pressure to think about what degree should I do, I'm not really interested in law, but I know I'm going to get paid lots if I do the degree right, you've already got jobs here. And you get one chance at an undergraduate degree. And the job's you've already won it. So do what you're passionate about. And you get paid for it while you're here too. I'm going to pass to some of my colleagues here because we don't just do academic stuff here. In fact, there are 28 academic teaching weeks in a year, plenty of stuff either side of that. Can you talk about some stuff there, guys? Extracurricular stuff?
Hi, my name's Ari and I'm a third year Bachelor of Arts majoring in History and Politics. So stuff that's outside of the academic, we will see in the sports and VEX and whatnot. But also like what's up there, battlefield study tours. I had a friend who got selected and they basically go overseas. So wherever it is, I know they've done places like France before, they've done Papua New Guinea, you've gone the Kokoda Trail, and while you get to see the country, you also get to learn the history, and it's a very good extracurricular option. And beyond just what the military does, you also have time to sort of pursue your own passion. And so on weekends, on leave, or wherever it is, going skiing or whatnot, you have all those options while you're here.
Yeah, I'll just add a little bit onto that. With the language programs, as an arts major, or as an arts student, you can do Japanese, for example, at ANU, and that can count as one of your majors. So if you did want to do a different language, you have that option.
Now, the real important thing was a Q&A session here because there are questions you guys may have that I'm not going to think of. All I can commit to is an honest and open answer to whatever you got. If it's life-related, at being a cadet, these guys can take it. I can answer degree things, but please don't be shy. Up the back. The matriculation requirement to BA tends to be pretty static at about 70 and plus, but I can tell you that it's not a concrete thing. This is about defence recruiting potential and a potential officer candidate that is able to pass a degree. I can also tell you something that gets forgotten, particularly in this pre-sort of admission stage, is you're not locked into anything. Like any university, you turn up, you don't like what you do, and you can change your program and your degree. Yeah, defence needs to give it a tick. It's mostly a tick because I'm the other person that signs the form.
So you said that the university studies is coming soon. When would you be able to take that as a major?
So I'm waiting for because universities are corporations, right? So there's endless committees. I'm waiting for a committee at Kensington to give us a green light before we set that up. I'm hoping at this stage it'll be available for first semester in 2025. Yep.
So you're obviously cadets, what are you studying and what are you looking at doing once you finish your degree?
I'm doing arts, business, politics, but that major stuff doesn't really start till second year, and I'm first year at the moment. And after, I'm doing intelligence.
I'm majoring in history and politics. So like right now I'm studying naval history, Australia, who holds power. It's about who holds like political stuff about Australia, and I'm doing a research project on neocolonialism and looking at how countries use soft power in the Indo-Pacific region. Yeah. And I'm going to be mission aircrew, so I start air mission training school either Jan or April in the coming year.
Hello, I'm Officer Cadet MacDonald as well, and I'm Bachelor of Arts majoring in English and Political Studies, and I'll be a helicopter pilot after all of this. So,
This is a question that comes up, and I'll be really frank with you. Sometimes your local recruiters give you a bit of a bum steer. Defence wants you to do well at your degree. To a large extent, it doesn't care what degree that is. There are, last time I checked, because I'm associated with defence, about 11 jobs in Army that require an engineering degree. Both corps in Army, the engineering corps and the electrical and mechanical engineering corps, you don't need a qualification in engineering. What defence needs you to need, it will give you. This experience is about broadening your mind. Little different for other services. Air Force is the only one that recruits into a particular stream. Plenty of pilots doing a BA. There are no restrictions there that you need to worry about. Yes?
What process do you go through to get into ADFA?
The first thing you do is go and see a local ADF recruiting people, not the university. We just get you at the end. And we have you from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Would geography still be available as a major
Within the BA, it'll be available as a minor, so that's 6 courses, not 8. Within the Bachelor of Science, I believe it'll be available as a major. There's not a huge difference between a major and a minor, given the only 2 courses are different.
What electives are there in the Bachelor of Science?
I can't speak with authority on that. I don't own the science degree. I'm glad you came here, though, not their presentation. Very nice to see you.
I think most 1A subjects still can be electives, 1A or 1B, so any first year course. I have some of my mates doing science and they're in my English classes. So there are definitely options as a science student to do electives in arts.
Yes.
What kind of things do you learn in the English course?
So first year is pretty basic. So at the moment we're going through World War II poetry and just analysing, like the evolution of how people perceived war. So from all the way back in the 1600s to now. And also going through further literature like Coriolanus by Shakespeare. But as you move into second and third year, it is like similar stuff, not always to do with war, and just really analysing literature and in some cases movies and seeing how attitudes and beliefs are portrayed.
Yes.
You said something about language. Can you explain a bit more about the program that you guys have been, say, doing different language stuff and how much you go?
So at the moment, the language program we run here in the school as part of the BA is Bahasa language, all the way up to second and third year to an accreditable standard. It is possible, as my colleagues mentioned, if you wanted to do another language, to have that count as a major, but you would actually be doing those classes at ANU and not here. All of our teaching is face-to-face for undergraduates, not for postgraduates. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My colleagues and I will stay down the front to answer any questions if you'd like to come down and ask them personally. Otherwise, it's been my pleasure. I hope you have a great day.